Well, Alan, we're at home to Telford on Saturday, and in the light of Tuesday night circumstances, the message to everybody is, let's win it for Nicky.
Yeah, it's obviously we've had the great news that Nicky's fine, but we've got to get back to work. Unfortunately, we've got to get straight back on it, and it wasn't a great performance by him. We've just got to make sure we put it to bed and get the 3 points, as they say, for Nicky. We owe that to him because he's been exceptional since he's come in. People forget he's a new player. You think he'd been here a while. That's how settled he is. But he's a top professional, top lad, and everyone at the club loves him. All the players love him. And that's going to be the way forward. We've got to try and win these games where Huntley's not here, and we've got to go and win them for him.
Yeah. What was your view of the incident leading up to Nicky's injury? Did you see much of it, or were you watching the ball?
No, I was as he's gone for the header. I've seen him hit it, and then he stepped back, and him and Mac. Well, he wasn't him and Mac. It was Mac and the other lad seemed to come to a collision, and Huntley's fell over the back of him, and it seems as if he's just smacked his head off the floor on the side, or whether he's caught a boot on the way down. No one really knows. But then obviously he was out. He was clean out. That's the first thing. And four of the lads were shouting at the referee, shouting, it's a head, and the referee's response was, no, it's legs. Now, he shouldn't be making that decision. As soon as you see someone into the head, you stop the game. And that's a disappointing thing. But as I say, the main thing is Huntley's fine. And I've spoken to him yesterday, I've spoken to his dad today. And his dad wants to thank everyone involved, the club, the staff, the boss, everyone who's helped Huntley. So I pass that on. But we're just so pleased that the lad's fine. And he said to us he'll be back in a couple of weeks. But I say we've got to be very careful with him and see how he is. But he's a professional player. He knows what he's right, not to play, not to train.
It was obviously a traumatic event, wasn't it? Because lots of people were in tears seeing him on the floor there, covered in blankets and coats and all sorts.
Yeah, there was a few very, very scary moments there, and I think people don't understand exactly what was going on there until you actually seen it. And I'm not one for hanging around and watching things, but because he's my player, and I had to make sure everything was all right, and everyone was covering him in coats. I say the staff are doing fantastic work with him, keeping him still and not letting him move. But we weren't getting any response off him at all whatsoever. Then he kept trying, weren't getting anything, and we're having moments where the breathing stopped and the deep came out, and that scared the life out of a lot of people around there. But thankfully, the staff dealing with it kept the calm, kept the nerve, and dealt with it so professionally. It was fantastic. But I don't know what I would have done, to be honest with you, because I wasn't in a great shape watching it. It wasn't a nice thing to see it all. So I'm just so thankful that the kid's fine.
Yeah, and a big vote of thanks, as you said, to all the physio and medical staff who attended to him for over an hour until the ambulance came.
No, they were different class. As I said, the work rate that they put into that. I've spoken to Danny today, and he's still suffering now. He's still in bits, the kid. And I'm not surprised because of what they're bending down constantly. People may think it's just normal work, but that was hard graft what they were doing. It was really intense. Had to concentrate fully. And as I say, we've got to thank the Boston's, like the staff that were involved in that, and they helped Danny massively. Even the other lads involved from our club, they helped massively. So, and Huntley's so thankful for that, and that's what he said on the phone. He's so grateful to everyone for helping him out. So he's over the moon with the way our staff and their staff looked after the lad, and it just shows that football comes together when something like this happens.
Yeah, it was a massive sense of relief, wasn't it, when the good news came through that he'd been discharged on Wednesday morning? Because let's be honest, everybody in the Darlington end was frantic, wondering what was going to happen.
Yeah, I never slept. I think 2:30 I decided to go to bed, and then I think I eventually got to sleep about 5:30. And I think that when he got released and I got the text through in the mornings when I'd actually got to sleep, but it was such a nice text to wake up to that he'd got out and he was back home with his family, and that there was no lasting injuries at this moment in time. So let's say it was really scary, and it had us up all night, but just so thankful that the lads, as I say, we can't express with thanks enough to everyone involved, and just so pleased for the kid.
Yeah. Now, though, let's look back on the performance before Nicky's injury. What did you make of it? Did you feel that we started a little bit too slowly and Boston would have touched sharper?
I knew we would. You could tell we put so much in the start, and yes, I could have changed a lot more bodies, but you don't like to change too much when you've won, and you just want to freshen it up. And we changed the system a little bit. We went for an out-and-out 4-4-2, and because I thought the quality would be in there, which it wasn't. It wasn't. We kept giving the ball away too cheaply, and we weren't looking after it enough. And I wanted to put them on the back foot, but we never once turned them really when everything was in front, and then we're allowed to get the first, second balls, and we weren't picking up enough of the second balls. And you can see what you want. It's about fatigue and that. And they were brighter, without a doubt. They were brighter. They were on the front foot constantly, and I knew they would start well because then my dad 12 days off from a game. We played 2 games in the time, and then played the last game. So it was always going to be tough. They're a good side. You can't take anything away from that. They're a good physical side. What you get in this league, and we come up short, and that was disappointing that we never really used what we had on the football pitch, because I thought Eric would cause no kind of problems on that right hand side, and the left back should have probably been sent off if the referee had been brave enough.
Yeah, well, they had 3 players booked, didn't they, in a 5-minute spell before half time there when they were breaking up our rhythm a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't like that side of the game, really, especially the one on Luke Charman. Do you know what I mean? I thought that was a little bit malicious on him. He's well away. The ball wasn't anywhere inside, and if he kicks someone off the ball, it's a sending off. Do you know what I mean? You got a yellow card, yes, but it's caused an injury to the lad, and we had to get him off in the end because of it. And that's football, I suppose, but it's not the way I like to win games and I like to play. But each to their own, and we just get on with it. And we had enough. We still had enough. I brought Will Hatfield back on. He would have probably started if he had a couple of training sessions, but he come on. I think he nearly scored on his first touch, which would have been a great welcome back. But because as poor as we were, I still thought we had the clearest chances, in all honesty. Sean Reed's in the first half. We should have went in the half-time 1-1. And probably a little bit harsh on Boston, what people would say. But at the end of the day, I put goal scorers in there because I knew the quality wasn't going to be there. And it might have just took a little bit of magic to get the goal in. It wasn't to be, but second half, I think we created enough. Cam should have scored, and he knows that. Eric goes running through, and he's took his touch a little bit too wide, and he's tried to square to Jared. And just a little fine detail was missing, and that was a disappointing thing because I knew we would never play it at the same intensity what we did on that Saturday.
Yeah. So will you mentioned before the Boston game, you might be doing some rotation. Will he be doing the same again this Saturday?
Well, after obviously he's missing, which is a big blow. But I've got 3 other players there that can play this at 4. To be honest, we've got Langy, we've got Jordan Watson, David Atkinson, and even Reedy can play there. But Reedy's put in a hell of a lot of shift graft these last few weeks, so we'll see how he is tonight. But Langy's been waiting for his opportunity, same as Jordan Watson, and we'll see how they're more tonight. I've got to have a little bit of a rethink and see what we're doing in there. Midfield probably needs to freshen up. Weeks has been fantastic, and Reedy has been fantastic. And as I say, I can't complain with the effort of the lads on Tuesday night. I think everything was there, but it was just a little bit of lack of quality, and it will need freshening up. And obviously, I've got Will back. So Will back. I've got Nipper had his first 60 minutes. He was absolutely shattered, but it's going to take a while to get that lad back up to match fitness because it's just been the way it is, unfortunately. And then Aki's back, which is great. So leaving Ben Headley out was a problem that hurt us, leaving the out after such a good performance. But it's the way it's going to be at this moment in time. It's going to be difficult to keep everyone happy, but they've got to understand, as it is, we've still got 41 games again. So that number 41 doesn't go away. So that's minimum. So it doesn't go away, unfortunately. It may change. Obviously, we'll find out what happens with the Boston game. But let's say we've still got 40-odd games to play. There's plenty game time for these lads.
Well, regardless of the 11 that you choose on Saturday, we want our first home league win of the season, don't we? We've won at Curzon Ashton away from home, but we want to kick it off at home in the league now, don't we? Yeah,
massively. As I say, I knew it was going to be tough on Tuesday night after that. And Saturday was the one where I said to the lads, we need to get the 3 points on the board and get it rolling again. We know what we've got. Right? You know, these will be looking for their result as well. The form's up and down. Yeah, I think they had a heavy defeat on Tuesday night. So they'll be looking to respond. And it's the same with us. It's always tough games in this league. I've had a good look at the league, and I've had a good look at the teams that people have got, the players in the teams now. And I tell you what, there's quality in this league now. It's come on a hell of a long way, and there's going to be a lot of teams challenging for them playoff places, believe me. So it's going to be, any point is a good point. away from home, and if you can win your home games, then happy days.